there, very good evening and welcome to Primetime News here on News First, where the people come first. You're joining me, Naveksha Gunasekara. We start off by taking a look at your headlines for tonight.
President graces National War Heroes Day commemoration in Battaramulla. Vasantha Mudalige and 7 other student activists arrested. Johnston Fernando released from Sathosa bribery case. PUCSL chairman seeks permission to visit Parliament to witness debate on the proposal to remove him. Dengue spread to worsen in the next 2 months. Health sector urges taking precautions.
Our top story tonight, the 14th National War Heroes Day commemoration took place at the Battaramulla War Heroes Monument on Friday evening, with President Ranil Wickremesinghe gracing the event.
The National War Heroes Day pays tribute to the valor of patriotic war heroes who laid their lives to bring an end to the 3-decade-long brutal war and establish lasting peace in Sri Lanka. The National War Heroes Day commemoration commenced following the arrival of President Ranil Wickremesinghe
and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Honorable Ranil Wickremesinghe.
War heroes, tri-services and police personnel, next of kin of fallen war heroes, proceeded to the War Heroes Monument in a procession led by the military bands.
In many wartime operations, the next of kin. At this time, it must be noted that this is a very hot.
තමන්ගේ ජීවිත පූජා කළා. අවුරුදු 14ක් ඉක්ුත් වෙන මොහොතේ
After President Ranil Wickremesinghe paid floral tributes to the War Heroes Monument, the Prime Minister and the opposition leader paid their tributes. Former Sri Lankan Army commander and former Chief of the Defence Staff Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca also attended the event. Secretary of Defence General Kamal Gunaratne, Chief of Defence Staff General Shavendra Silva, Tri-Service Commanders, Inspector General of Police, among others, joined to pay floral tributes to the memories of those war heroes on Friday.
IOSF convener Vasantha Mudalige and 7 other activists who were arrested on Thursday night during a protest were released on bail. The group was produced at the Mahara Magistrate Court on Friday evening and they were released on a personal bail of 500,000 rupees each and were also ordered to appear at the Kiribati Police once a month.
The student union of the University of Kelaniya had organized the demonstration on Thursday night, citing that its chairman Kalum Mudan Nayaka and activist Dilshan Harshana were in detention for 138 days. They demanded that Sri Lankan authorities end student suppression. The demonstration that was scheduled to commence at 6:30 in the evening got underway after 9:30 at night. Sri Lanka police officers, riot police and water cannon trucks were deployed around the University of Kelaniya and along the Colombo Kandy main road ahead of the demonstration.
When the case was called up at the High Court, the Deputy Solicitor General said that we were part of the Aragalaya and those with the Aragalaya are violent and therefore they were against granting bail to us. People like Prasanna Ranatunga blamed the Aragalaya for everything. They are against granting bail to Kalum Mudan Nayaka and Dilshan Harshana, citing that they too were in the Aragalaya and are violent.
Thereafter, the university students proceeded along the Colombo Kandy main road and it led to a heated exchange. Thereafter, Sri Lanka police and the riot police took measures to disperse the demonstrating university students. Convener of the Inter-University Students' Federation Vasantha Mudalige and 7 others were arrested on charges of obstructing the duties of police officers. Among those arrested was the convener of the Inter-University Bhikkhu Federation, Venerable Rathkarawe Jinarathanathera. Police spokesperson SSP Nihal Talduva said 2 police officers who were assigned to control the protest sustained minor injuries.
Opposition leader Sadith Premadasa visited the Ragama Teaching Hospital to inquire into the well-beings of Vasantha Mudalige and others when they were moved to the premises for an inspection by the Judicial Medical Officer.
It is evident that the government is engaged in a blatant violation of fundamental rights. As the opposition, we condemn the conduct of the government. The people need to have the freedom to exercise their democratic rights. The university students have expressed their views. They said that they engaged in a peaceful demonstration and they were harassed. They say they were not allowed to engage in the demonstration as citizens of this country.
Civil activist Piyat Nikeshela filed a complaint with the police headquarters requesting for the investigation on his attack be referred to another police station as the Thalangama police is not conducting a just inquiry.
I am the aggrieved party. However, the politico who attacked me is admitted in the Mulleriava hospital. I was attacked by a group of men with swords and poles. I expected a just investigation. I requested the police headquarters to move the investigation from the Thalangama police to another police station or to the CID.
The Colombo High Court on Friday ordered the release of 3 defendants, including former Minister Johnston Fernando, from a case filed by the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption. The case was filed against former Minister Johnston Fernando when he was acting as the Trade Minister, former Satosa Chairman Iraj Fernando, and former Satosa Director Mohammad Zakir for committing offences under the Bribery Act by enlisting the employees of Satosa for political activities. Colombo High Court Judge Namal Balalle ordered for the defendants to be released after accepting the preliminary objections raised by the defence, citing that the case was not filed in accordance with the provisions of the Bribery Act. In the preliminary objections, the defence noted that when a complaint filed under the provisions of the Bribery Act is investigated and when the matter is taken up at the High Court as a case, the written approval and permission of all 3 commissioners of the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption is necessary. They added, however, in this instance, none of the 3 commissioners had placed their signature when filing the case. Upon considering the submission made by both factions, the High Court judge ordered the release of the defendants. However, former Minister Johnston Fernando and the other defendants are facing charges for 4 other bribery cases filed with the Colombo High Court for the period from 2010 to 2015. Johnston Fernando commented on the matter while in Kurunagala.
I view this as another instance of judicial independence. Most of the cases were filed under false charges against politicians. This is political persecution. This is nothing new to me. I was jailed as well. However, the truth will prevail.
A heated confrontation took place on Friday when several houses in Tudava, Mathura were being removed based on a court's order citing that the constructions were illegal.
Around 33 houses were built on this plot of land in Thudawa, Matara, said to belong to the Department of Irrigation. According to the occupants, they have been living on this land for more than 3 decades. A case was heard with the Matara Magistrates Court over the use of the land, and it was ordered for 3 houses to be removed. Accordingly, Sri Lanka police intervened to remove the houses from the property.
They are coming here and claiming ownership after 35 years. I had no place to hold my parents' funeral. The money I saved for 15 years is wasted.
The 80th birth anniversary of the late chairman of the Capital Maharaja Group, Mr. R. Raja Mahindran, was marked on Friday.
A special service took place at the All Saints Church in Boralla on Friday morning to mark the 80th birth anniversary of the late chairman of the Capital Maharaja Group, Mr. R. Raja Mahindran. Reverend Father Jude Shaman led the service.
And lovingly think of Rajendran Raja Mahindran. See to it yourselves.
The chairman and managing director of the Capital Maharaja Group, Sashi Raja Mahindran, family members, relatives among others, were in attendance for the service.
A year and 6 months. In the unity of the Holy Spirit.
A special religious program took place at the Mardana Agrashravaka temple to mark the 80th birth anniversary of the late chairman of the Capital Maharaja Group, Mr. R. Raja Mahindran. The Mahasangha led the religious program.
We'll be back after a short commercial break. Stay with us.
ඉන්ෂුරන්ස් කොයිද තියෙන්නේ? සුපර් මාකට් එකෙන් වගේ තෝරලා බේරලා ගැලපෙන මේ ඉන්ෂුරන්ස් එක අරගන්න නම් මේ තියෙන ඉන්ෂුරන්ස් සුපර් මාකට් එක.
ඉන්ෂුරන්ස් එකක් ගන්නවා නම් ඉන්ෂුරන්ස් එකට කතා කරන්න. ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ ඉන්ෂුරන්ස් සුපර් මාකට් එක insurance.lk.
The National Dengue Control Unit warned that dengue cases could spike in the next 2 months.
From January to date, 35,283 dengue cases were reported in the country. This is an increase compared to last year. We are recording 300 to 400 patients daily. If this situation continues during the monsoon period, we are likely to expect an increase in the number of patients in June and July.
The number of children admitted to the Lady Ridgeway Hospital for Children for dengue is increasing. 43 children are receiving in-house treatment at the Lady Ridgeway Hospital for Children.
When a person contracts dengue for the second time, it would be difficult. However, it is not the case for the third and fourth time. When you contract dengue for the second time, the situation is severe. If we exhaust ourselves, it would be worse. Therefore, a child who has dengue must take at least 2 weeks rest. The O-level examination is about to commence and children will be writing their answers for hours. Therefore, it is the duty and responsibility of the parents, teachers to ensure that there are no mosquito breeding grounds in the schools.
Dr. Ajanta Pereira filed a complaint to the United Nations office in Colombo on Friday regarding the Express Pearl disaster.
Submitting the complaint to the United Nations office, Dr. Ajanta Pereira said the case was filed at the wrong court in Singapore. She requested the United Nations to intervene in the process of obtaining compensation for the damage caused to the environment.
I came to the United Nations because today is the last day to obtain the $6.5 billion due to this country in compensation for the Express Pearl maritime disaster. However, the case has been filed at the wrong court in Singapore. It was filed at international court, which means the Australian firm hearing this case has no right to investigate this case in Singapore because the Singapore court does not accept the assigned law firm. Therefore, it is being heard as an international case. As an international case, Sri Lanka has no way of knowing the developments of this case. This is why I came here. The United Nations has an organization in Nairobi that studies environment law and implements the law. I filed the complaint with the headquarters in Nairobi. I will hand over all relevant documents to them today. The Centre for Environmental Justice noted that due to a claims limitation case in the UK, Sri Lanka's compensation claim would be limited despite a ruling delivered by the Singapore court.
The insurance company had filed a case in the United Kingdom over the past few months. They have filed a claim limitation of $19.9 million. This could be an obstacle in a case filed in Singapore. Singapore and the United Kingdom have an agreement. However, Sri Lanka has no such agreement. Therefore, the ruling in the United Kingdom will have an impact on the Singapore case. We believe we can get a favourable ruling from the Singapore court. Yet, with the UK case, we will only get around $26 million. That is a quarter of the damages caused to the Sri Lankan fishermen. The local agencies failed to address the issue together.
Chairman of the Public Utilities Commission, Janaka Ratnayaka, has requested the Secretary General of Parliament to allow him and his two children to witness the debate on his removal in Parliament.
A proposal to remove the chairman of the Public Utilities Commission, Janaka Ratnayaka, has already been submitted to Parliament and it will be taken up for a debate next Wednesday. The chairman of the PUCSL, in a letter to the General Secretary of Parliament, has requested permission for him and his children to attend the parliamentary debate on the motion and witness the debate. Meanwhile, speaking at a media briefing today, Chief Opposition Whip Lakshman Kiriyalla said that the Samagi Jana Balawege will not support the motion to remove chairman of the PUCSL.
He always tried to do justice for consumers. The Samagi Jana Balawege will vote against this motion. There has not been a person in the state service who has worked so much for the welfare of the people. Removing this chairman is an action taken against independent commissions. A similar proposal was brought to remove Shirani Bandaranaike. This is the next step. Although these are called independent commissions, in the constitution they are exerting influence on them. There is no point in appointing independent commissions if the members of the commissions do not have a backbone. They must have a backbone. Look at the members of the election commission named Charles. When she was a member of the election commission, she supported the postponement of the elections. She was in hiding for some time as well. Afterwards, the other members claimed that they cannot make certain decisions without the quorum. It is because she was in hiding for that time period that she has been gifted now and given the position of governor of the northern province.
General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Podujana Perumana Sagara Karyavasam has said that the SLPP will support the motion to remove the chairman of PUCSL. However, SLPP MP Ranjit Bandara expressed these views today.
Decisions can be made within parliamentary democracy. The minister in charge of the subject says that there are several allegations levelled against him. Parliamentarians can decide on this. I don't think that they have already made up their minds on if he must be removed or not.
Meanwhile, the CEB has proposed a 3.15% reduction in electricity tariffs. Convening a media briefing yesterday, the chairman of the PUCSL said that tariffs can be reduced by 27%. During February last year, electricity tariffs were increased by 66%, and the chairman of the PUCSL, who disagreed, said that there is no need for the electricity tariff to be increased by such a large amount. The disagreement between the minister and the chairman of the PUCSL has escalated to a point where the chairman of the PUCSL is now facing a threat of being removed from his post.
The newly appointed governors for the eastern and northwestern provinces assumed duties on Friday.
Lakshman Yapa Abewardena, the 15th governor of the Northwestern Province, assumed duties at the office of the Northwestern Province Governor in Kurunegala on Friday. Former Minister Johnston Fernando, State Minister Sanat Nishanta and former Kurunegala Mayor Tushara Sanjeeva, among others, were present for the event.
I would use my time to fill the void of the public representatives. I will also declare a public day where public representatives will come and meet with me without an appointment. I will rebuild the lost image of the public representatives. If not, this country cannot function.
Senthil Thondaman assumed duties as the governor of the Eastern Province at the governor's office in Trincomalee. Jeevan Thondaman, the Minister of Water Supply and Estate Infrastructure Development, MP G. Karunakaran and MP Kapilanuwan Atukorala were among those present for the event. After assuming duties as the new governor, Senthil Thondaman met with the governor of China's Yunnan province, who was visiting the Eastern Province with a delegation from China. The Chinese ambassador to Sri Lanka was also present at the event. The Eastern Province Governor was accompanied by Yunnan Province Governor Wang Yubo to the Training Development Centre in Uppaveli to distribute dry rations to around 2,000 families under the Chinese funding.
Former Governor Anuradha Yahampath launched a program when the country was in crisis. I placed her as a governor, and I'm doing this program to strengthen Sri Lanka-China relations.
The governor of the Yunnan province in China visited the Eastern province for a donation program.
Wang Yubo, the governor of the Yunnan province in China, donated school bags to 5,000 students and food packs to 2,000 families in Trincomalee when visiting the Eastern province. It is the first ever official visit by a minister or governor of the People's Republic of China to Sri Lanka's Eastern province.
Education is the foundation of the development of a nation. In China, the founders say teachers are planters and students are flowers. You are the future of your country. We hope you work hard and become your country's leaders for the country's development and to enhance friendship between China and Sri Lanka. As the governor of the Yunnan province, I sincerely invite all new students. I wish all of you a good health and hope you can usher in new relations between China and Sri Lanka.
The International Symposium on Agricultural Engineering 2023 took place at the University of Ruhuna on Thursday.
Ambassador of Japan to Sri Lanka, Mizukoshi Hideaki, and Indonesian Ambassador to Sri Lanka, Dewi Gusinatobin, were the chief guests of the event. University lecturers including Senior Professor S.D. Vanyarachi and students participated in the event.
While the primary focus of Japan's assistance to Sri Lanka at this very moment is on the IMF process and nailing down the debt restructuring, agriculture and rural development, including livelihood improvement, empowerment of marginalized communities, nutrition and health condition support remain indispensable parts of our assistance. At this crucial moment, President Wickramasinghe is visiting Japan next week to attend the Future of Asia International Symposium, where he is expected to deliver a speech and have bilateral meetings with his counterparts in Japan. It is hoped that President will articulate a case for Sri Lanka toward the world and garner support for the country to move forward.
This is the 16th International Symposium on Agricultural Engineering.
Cruise liner Mindshift 5 docked in Hambantota with over 2,000 passengers.
2,200 passengers arrived at the Hambantota International Port on Thursday on board cruise liner Mindshift 5. The vessel is on a 60-day cruise from Hong Kong to Heraklion in Greece, visiting several ports in Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, Vietnam, Thailand, Singapore, Sri Lanka, Oman, Jordan and Egypt in between. The cruise ship passengers who had approximately 12 hours in Hambantota visited the Yala National Park, Udawalwe Wildlife Park and the historical rock temple of Mulkirigala, which are among the top attractions for visitors to the Hambantota International Port. The Mindshift 5, which docked at the Hambantota International Port in November last year, was the first passenger cruise ship to call at the port after the pandemic. The vessel called at Phuket, Thailand, prior to the Hambantota International Port, and its next port of call will be Colombo.
China said that Sri Lanka offered help to locate a missing fishing boat.
China said that Sri Lanka and several other countries have extended emergency assistance with regard to the Chinese distant water fishing boat Lu Peng Yuan Yu 028 that capsized while passing through the central part of the Indian Ocean. The Chinese distant water fishing boat Lu Peng Yuan Yu 028 capsized while passing through the central part of the Indian Ocean on the 16th of May. The Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson said 39 crew members on board are missing and emergency search and rescue operation is underway. He said the operation has drawn close attention from across the region, and countries such as Australia, India, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, the Maldives and the Philippines have extended emergency assistance and sent sympathies for the Chinese boat and crew. He said that the Chinese government sincerely appreciates the help from those countries as the search and rescue operation is still underway.
There are many rural villages in Sri Lanka that have been deprived of access to clean drinking water for many years. The government, the door-to-door program, exposed these issues to not only Sri Lankan authorities but to the whole world. Instead of simply revealing the deplorable standard of living of our fellow Sri Lankans, Gamatha, together with the people of Sri Lanka, decided to do something about it. Continuing on the path, the government initiative today launched a project to provide clean drinking water to the village of Palupitia in Vilgamua.
The village of Palupitia in Vilgamua is located in the Matale district and is home to around 250 families. The primary issues faced by these rural Sri Lankans was the lack of access to clean drinking water. Many people in this village were at risk due to the consumption of saline water that is harmful to one's health and leads to chronic kidney disease. Students studying at the local school, the Palupitia Primary School, also did not have access to clean drinking water. The plight of these rural Sri Lankans was identified by Gammadda, and prominence was given to solve the issue, and thus a project was born 3 months ago. The Clean Drinking Water Project was opened on Friday, providing a sustainable solution to an issue that went unresolved for decades. It was also an important day for the Gammadda movement, as Friday the 19th of May marked the 80th birth anniversary of Mr. R. Raja Mahindran, founder of Gammadda. This Clean Drinking Water Project was launched to coincide with this important day. At the same time, books and stationery material were provided to the novice monks receiving Piriven education, while school shoes were also donated to the students of the Palupitia Primary School. Friday was also National War Heroes Day, and a minute's silence was observed to pay tribute to the valor of patriotic war heroes who laid down their lives in the fight against terrorism and against the division of the country. This project was supported by the IDA Soiza Trust in memory of its founder H.I.H. Soiza. The national program for chronic kidney disease, operating under the Ministry of Health, consulted the project, while the Sri Lanka Navy provided technical expertise. A memorial event of the late H.I.H. Soiza, the founder of the IDA Soiza Trust, also took place. Divisional Secretary of Vilgamua, Tusita Disanayaka, Zonal Education Director M.G. Karunaratna, Sudarshana Soiza from the IDA Soiza Trust, Lieutenant Commander Indika Pushpakumara from the Sri Lanka Navy, Sivan Daniel from the Gammadda movement, and Gammadda General Secretary Prasanna Athukorala were among those present at the event. Sivan Daniel from the Gammadda movement commented on the leadership teachings of Mr. R. Raja Mahindran, the founder of Gammadda.
In Sri Lanka today, we speak of leadership and we are on the search for leadership. However, though he is not with us today, his leadership continues to help us serve thousands of villagers across this country. He taught us to strengthen our mind and body. But there are many other leaders like that. So why is he so special? He taught us to strengthen the heart. How do we do that? He always told us to place our heart and soul with the people. He was subject to a plethora of criticism and insults. Yet he was not faltered by any one of them. Not only did he place his heart and soul with the people, he also opened his heart to the people. Many assume that you can become a leader by only arming yourself with knowledge. That is not the case, especially in Sri Lanka. You need to balance your mind, your body, and have a sincere heart for the people. That's Mr. Raja Mahindran's leadership philosophy.
කියලා. එහෙම බෑ. විශේෂයෙන්ම මේ රටේ දැනුම තියෙන්නත් ඕන, කායික ශක්තියක් තියෙන්නත් ඕන, ශක්තිමත් ජනතාවට යොමු වුණු හදවතක් තියෙන්නත් ඕන.
The people of Palupitia had one dream and one dream alone, and that was to ensure that their children do not fall victim to the chronic kidney disease. From today, that dream becomes a reality, and the people of Palupitia will no longer have to fear falling victim to this deadly disease, as they now have access to clean drinking water.
The Ministry of Finance launched a special survey to find out whether the advantage of the rupee strengthening is passed on to the local consumers.
The dollar, which was at 360 rupees, is now at 300 rupees, which means there was a drop of 20%. Our market has direct imports or export-oriented imports. Therefore, under the directive of the President, the officials will engage in a special survey. This will look into the reduction of prices and measures that need to be taken if that is not the case.
The Sri Lanka Navy seized smuggled dried sea cucumber and contraband in Kalpitia seas.
A search operation conducted by the Sri Lanka Navy off Sinarachlei, Kalpiti on the night of 18th May 2023 led to the apprehension of 2 suspects with about 193 kilograms of dried sea cucumber and several other contraband items being smuggled. The Navy also seized a dinghy used by the suspects for this illegal act. The 2 suspects, along with the items seized during this operation, were handed over to the Customs Preventive Office in Katunayaka for onward legal action.
The LOLC Divisavya program that aims to support the education of Sri Lankan children took place entering the Polonnaruwa district today.
School books and other stationery items are being distributed to school children under the Divisavya program. This worthy initiative is a collaboration between the LOLC group and the Ministry of Education. The LOLC Divisavya program took place entering the Polonnaruwa district today. School books and stationery items were distributed to the children from the Somawathiya Primary School in Polonnaruwa and the Onegama Muslim Primary School. School supplies were also distributed to the children of the Vavathana Takshila Primary School and Indraratna Primary School of the Polonnaruwa Education Zone today. The school books and stationery equipment were also provided to children of 4 schools, including the Jayantipura Primary School, belonging to the Hinguragoda Education Zone under the LOLC Divisavya program. Divisavya is being carried out to ensure a bright future for the children of Sri Lanka.
Undoubtedly the most popular reality TV show in Sri Lanka that everyone is talking about. We leave you tonight with a sneak peek from the preparations for tomorrow's grand finale.
Sirasa TV, that brought reality television to the homes of Sri Lankans, proved their status yet again by making the Voice Sri Lanka 2023 an unforgettable, one-of-a-kind experience for all Sri Lankans. MTV Private Limited, the company that holds the rights to the program here in Sri Lanka, brought to you the excitement and finesse of this international show through Sirasa TV. For the first time in the Asian region, the program was given a new twist, with the 5th coach being brought in. The end of a year-long journey in search of the best voice in Sri Lanka will end tomorrow, where one of the finalists will emerge as the winner of the Voice Sri Lanka 2023. 5 contestants trained by 5 veteran coaches will take the stage at the finals of the Voice Sri Lanka 2023 tomorrow. Chanupa Deshita will represent Team Coach Kasun. Shehan Rangana will represent Coach Umaria. Chintaka Roshan will take the stage from Team BNS. Sharon Silva will represent Team Coach Shashika. and Ramesh Shashinkar alias Ramya will take the stage from team coach Supun.
As you can see behind us, today we are at Stein Studios here in Ratmalana, where the grand finale rehearsals are happening of the Voice Sri Lanka. Did you know that this is the first time in Asia where we are welcoming a fifth coach to our grand finale? Don't forget to watch Sirasa TV tomorrow, where the grand finale of The Voice is happening. 7:30 p.m. live. This is Kenza Farooq reporting for the News First team here in Ratmalana.